The World Economic Forum's annual meeting in Davos serves as a crucial platform for global dialogue. World leaders, business executives, and academics converge in the Swiss Alps. They discuss pressing issues and explore potential solutions. In a world grappling with complex challenges, such forums are more critical than ever before. Davos provides a space for open and frank discussions about the future of our interconnected world. In 2017, Chinese President Xi Jinping delivered a historic speech at Davos. It was a moment that captured the world's attention as he stood before an audience of global leaders and business magnates, articulating a vision that was both ambitious and inclusive. His speech was not just a call to action but a roadmap for the future, emphasizing the importance of globalization in an increasingly interconnected world. He championed a vision of globalization that was open, inclusive, and mutually beneficial. Xi Jinping's words were a stark contrast to the rising tide of nationalism and protectionism that was sweeping across many parts of the world. He spoke of a global community where countries could work together, share resources, and benefit collectively from economic growth and technological advancements. President Xi's message resonated deeply, particularly at a time when protectionist sentiments were on the rise. His speech was a reminder of the potential pitfalls of isolationism and the benefits of a cooperative international approach. The applause that followed his address was not just for his eloquence, but for the hope and optimism he inspired in a world that seemed increasingly divided. His words highlighted the need for countries to work together to address common challenges. Whether it was climate change, economic inequality, or global health crises, Xi Jinping emphasized that no nation could tackle these issues alone. His vision was one of shared responsibility and mutual support, urging leaders to look beyond their borders and consider the global impact of their policies. 5 years later, his message remains strikingly relevant. The world has faced numerous challenges since that speech, from trade wars to the COVID-19 pandemic, and the principles he outlined have proven to be more important than ever. The interconnectedness of our global systems means that cooperation and collaboration are not just ideals but necessities for survival and progress. We must reflect on his vision as we navigate the complexities of the global landscape. Xi Jinping's call for an open and inclusive world is a guiding light in these turbulent times. As we move forward, it is crucial to remember the importance of unity, cooperation, and the shared pursuit of a better future for all. The global economy faces significant headwinds. From fluctuating stock markets to economic downturns, the financial landscape is more volatile than ever. Global summits are now more crucial as leaders seek solutions to these pressing challenges. Trade tensions, geopolitical uncertainty, and the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic continue to cast a shadow. International trade, once the backbone of globalization, is now fraught with disruptions. Ships that once carried goods across oceans now face delays and uncertainties. The geopolitical map is constantly shifting, adding layers of complexity to an already intricate global trade network. The rules-based trading system embodied by the World Trade Organization is under strain. The WTO, which has long been the arbiter of international trade disputes, is now grappling with unprecedented challenges. Trade negotiations that once seemed straightforward are now mired in complexity as nations grapple with new economic realities and shifting alliances. Protectionist measures such as tariffs and quotas threaten to disrupt global supply chains and stifle economic growth. Ports that were once bustling with activity now see shipping containers piling up, awaiting clearance. Tariff enforcement has become a contentious issue, leading to economic trade barriers that hinder the free flow of goods and services. The current moment demands careful navigation and a renewed commitment to international cooperation. Diplomatic efforts are more important than ever, as nations must come together to forge multilateral agreements that can stabilize the global economy. Handshakes and discussions at global summits symbolize the hope for a collaborative future. The alternative, a descent into protectionism and economic nationalism, would have disastrous consequences for all. Economic protests are already on the rise and factories are closing down, leading to job losses and economic despair. Empty international trade offices and abandoned shipping ports serve as stark reminders of what could happen if the world turns inward. The stakes have never been higher, and the path forward requires a collective effort to embrace globalization with renewed vigor and commitment. Despite its challenges, economic globalization has yielded significant benefits. The World Trade Organization estimates that global trade has lifted millions out of poverty. Open markets have fostered innovation, increased productivity, and driven economic growth. Consumers around the world have benefited from lower prices and a wider variety of goods and services. These gains are not evenly distributed, highlighting the need for policies that ensure a more equitable distribution of the benefits of globalization. Section 5. Towards a more inclusive system, multilateralism and global governance. To address the shortcomings of globalization, we must strengthen multilateral institutions and promote inclusive development. Globalization has brought about significant economic growth and interconnectedness, but it has also led to disparities and inequalities. Many developing countries have not reaped the same benefits as their developed counterparts. By fostering a more inclusive approach, we can ensure that the advantages of globalization are more evenly distributed. This means not only focusing on economic growth, but also on social and environmental sustainability. The World Trade Organization plays a vital role in setting trade rules and resolving disputes. It provides a platform for countries to negotiate trade agreements and ensures that trade flows as smoothly, predictably, and freely as possible. However, the WTO has faced criticism for being slow to adapt to the changing global landscape. Issues such as digital trade, environmental standards, and labor rights need to be more effectively addressed within its framework. However, it requires reforms to enhance its effectiveness and legitimacy. Reforms could include improving transparency, increasing the participation of developing countries in decision-making processes, and updating its rules to reflect modern trade realities. By doing so, the WTO can better serve the needs of all its member countries and contribute to a more balanced global trade system. We need a more inclusive system of global governance that gives voice to developing countries. The current global governance structures often marginalize these nations, limiting their ability to influence international policies that affect them. By ensuring that developing countries have a seat at the table, we can create a more equitable and just global system. This involves not only political representation, but also access to resources and technology that can drive sustainable development. This includes reforming the International Monetary Fund. The IMF has been instrumental in providing financial assistance and policy advice to countries in need. However, its governance structure has been criticized for being dominated by a few wealthy nations. Reforms should aim to give greater voice and representation to emerging and developing economies, ensuring that the IMF's policies are more attuned to the diverse needs of its member countries and the World Bank to better reflect the realities of the 21st century. The World Bank plays a crucial role in funding development projects and providing technical assistance to countries. To remain relevant and effective, it must adapt to the evolving global challenges such as climate change, digital transformation, and growing inequality. By incorporating these considerations into its operations, the World Bank can help build a more sustainable and inclusive global economy. Section 6. Ding Xuexiang's address, charting a course for collaborative globalization. Against this backdrop, Chinese Vice-Premier Ding Xuexiang's address at Davos 2025 carried significant weight. He reiterated China's commitment to open markets, multilateralism, and international cooperation. He emphasized the importance of dialogue and collaboration in addressing global challenges. Ding's speech underscored China's vision for a more equitable and sustainable form of globalization, one that benefits all countries and peoples. Section 7. The technological imperative, innovation as the engine of growth. Technological advancements, particularly in artificial intelligence and quantum computing, hold immense potential. These innovations can revolutionize industries, boost productivity, and create new opportunities for growth. However, they also present challenges. We must ensure that these technologies are developed and deployed responsibly. International collaboration is crucial to establish ethical guidelines and regulatory frameworks for emerging technologies. This will ensure that the benefits of innovation are shared widely. Section 8, a call to action, collective responsibility in a fragmented world. We stand at a critical juncture. The choices we make today will determine the course of globalization and the future of our planet. We can choose the path of cooperation and shared prosperity, or we can succumb to the forces of division and protectionism. The stakes are too high to fail. We must embrace our shared responsibility to build a more just, equitable, and sustainable world. Section 9. Towards a shared destiny, building a better future together. The challenges we face are complex and interconnected. No single country can solve them alone. We need a spirit of global solidarity and collective action. We must move beyond narrow self-interest and embrace a vision of shared destiny. By working together, we can harness the forces of globalization for good and create a better future for all.